Hello, I welcome you to AB Math Education. Please, today we are going to look at how we can able to divide polynomial, and we will be looking side by side long division method and the synthetic division method and how they're being used. Please stick with me as we are taking it from the easy one and progressing to the various kinds of division that you may need. So we are starting with the quadratic, which is here. The exponent is 2 is a quadratic. Everybody knows how to do that, but yes, still you can also use the division method and the synthetic method to do that. We have this polynomial and it's being divided by x plus 9. So this is how we set it up here. So you write your x plus 9 here, then you draw here, and then you write the x squared plus 13x plus 36 here. What we have to do is that what number are we going to multiply by x that can able to eliminate the x squared? We know that this is of power 1, so we need the one of power another one, so which is going to be just x, and then we multiply that x times x, and that give us x squared right here, and then we multiply 9 times the x, and that will give us 9x here. Now you're going to subtract, so we are subtracting this from here, and that here will be 0. That's our intention. And then 9, we are taking 9 away from 9x away from 13x, and that have to give us positive 4x here. Now we bring the 36 down. Now we're going to repeat the process. So we want to make here 0, 4x and x, so we are missing 4, so we put 4 here, so that when we multiply this, you're going to get 4x down here, and then we have to multiply this one also to that. 9 times 4 will give us 36, and we have to subtract. Here will be 0, and then 36 minus 36 will be 0. So now the remainder is 0. That tells us that the x plus 9 is a factor of this polynomial x squared plus 13x plus 30. So therefore, when we divide the x squared plus 13x plus 36 divided by x plus 9, this indeed is equal x plus 4 as an answer. That is telling us that these two here are factors. So in case you were really solving for the factors, then you would have said that the factor. That is not what we are intended to do. Now let's go ahead and use the synthetic method. The synthetic method works a little bit different. In the long division, we use the factors. In the synthetic method, we have to use a solution. So that means we have to set x plus 9 equals to 0, and then we get x is equals to negative 9. That's the one that we have to bring it here. And then we are going to write a coefficient. The coefficient here is 1. So it's going to be 1, 13, 36. Then you draw your line underneath here. You drop this 1 down, and then you multiply this to that. And you're going to get negative 9, and you put it right here, so negative 9. So here we're subtracting, but when it comes to the synthetic method, we add. So we are going to add this, and here it's going to give us 4. So now we repeat it again. We multiply the 4 to negative 9, and that will give us negative 36. We put it right here, and now we add. You see, it's opposite to the long division. We add, and here we get 0. So this is the remainder. So that tells us that this x is equals to 9 is a solution of that quadratic equation, or x plus 9 is a factor of that polynomial that we have. The synthetic method always reduces the polynomial by 1. So it was quadratic. Now it's going to reduce it by 1. So from quadratic downwards, we go to linear. So here is just 1x plus 4, which is the same as x plus 4. So we get the same answer as we got here. Okay, so here we are using the long division method. We are going to move a little faster because we have done the first one. We write our x plus 3 here, and then we write our quotient here. And now we want to eliminate this. So what number are we going to multiply by this that can able to eliminate? So the 2 have to be there. This is 1. We need 2 more, so squared have to be here. Now we multiply, and then we will get exactly the same as this one. And we will multiply this. It's going to be 6x squared. And we write it right down here. So 6x squared. Now we are going to subtract. So here will be 0. And here, which are 6 away from 10, will be positive 4x. And we drop this one down. So plus 9x minus 9. We repeat it. We want to eliminate this. So we check it with this one. And we see that we need 4. We have x. And it's x squared. So we need 1x here. So when we multiply this to that, we're going to get exactly the same, 4x squared, and then we will multiply this to here, and we will get 12x. So plus 12x. So now we are going to subtract. So here will be 0. That was our intention. And then 9 minus 12 going to give us negative 3x. We bring this down. So minus 9. We want to make here 0. So the same thing, so minus 3. So that when we multiply, we will get exactly the same here. So minus 3x. And we will multiply 3 to negative 3, and that will give us negative 9. We underline that. And here we are subtracting. So here will be 0. And here we are subtracting. So it's going to be negative 9 minus negative 9, which in 10 is going to be plus. So it's going to be negative 9 plus 9, which is also 0. So we got a reminder to be 0. So that tells us that when we divide this long polynomial here, divided by x plus 3, we will get that one. We will get this one here with a reminder of 0. So the answer is just 2x squared plus 4x minus. Now let's use the synthetic method. So for you to get your divisor, it's always the opposite. So the divisor have to be negative 3. So negative 3 comes here. We write our coefficients to 10, 9, negative 9. You draw your line, you drop your 2 here, you multiply, you get negative 6, and you put it right here. You add 10 plus negative 6 will give you 4. You repeat the procedure again, you multiply, you get negative 12, you put it here. So negative 12, you add, and you get negative 3. You repeat the procedure again, you multiply. Negative 3 times negative 3 give you positive 9, and you add them, and you get 0. So you got a reminder. Remember that it was a cubic. It was to the power 3 is reducing it by 1. So this is going to be 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. So we get the same answer as what we got here. All right, so we continue to do more, putting side by side the long division and synthetic. So here is a cubic, and we realize that this is a little bit unique from what we have been solving. We are missing the quadratic piece of it. And how do we go about that? So here we write divisor here. And as we are writing our quotient, which is going to be x cubed, here we have to insert the quadratic part of it, the second power of it. So it's going to be plus 0 x squared minus 7 minus 6. That will help us to solve it. So we have to put that one. Okay. So now you want to eliminate this. Is a cube. This is a linear or the power 1. So you need 2 more here. So you write 2 more. You multiply and you get the same cube down there. You write it. And then you multiply this and you're going to get negative x squared. You underline that. Here will give you 0. You subtract. And here you're subtracting. So it kind of is 0 minus minus 3. That's going to turn this into positive. You drop down this here, negative 7x. And you drop down this negative. We want to eliminate this. So it's missing 3 and x. So we put it here. So plus 3x. We multiply, we get exactly the same. And then we multiply this to that. So that's going to give us negative 9. And we are subtracting. So here will be 0. Negative 7 minus minus negative 9x here will turn into positive, and that will give us 2x. We drop down, so minus 6. We want to eliminate this. So we compare with this one. So we are missing only 2, so plus 2. We multiply, we get exactly the same. And then we multiply this to that, and we get negative 6. We subtract, give us 0. Here, negative 6 minus negative 6 will turn into positive, so it will be 0. So we realize that indeed this is a factor. When we divide, this is what we are getting. We are getting x squared plus 3x plus, and the remainder is 0. You realize that we have able to reduce something that was a cubic to a quadratic, which is really helpful, and we know how to solve quadratic, and then you can able to use it to find all the factors. Let's use a synthetic method to also do the same problem. So be careful, it's always opposite of that. So it's going to be 3. You're writing your coefficients of the quotient, so it's going to be 1. We are missing the quadratic of it, so we replace it with 0. So 0 minus 7 minus 6. You draw your line, you drop down your 1 here, you multiply, you get 3, you put it right here. Here you're adding 0 plus 3 give you 3. You multiply, that give you 9, and you put it right here. You add, and that give us plus 2. We multiply, we get 6 right here. We are adding this 2, and that give us 0. It was a cubic, have to be reduced by 1, so that means we are getting 1x squared plus 3x plus 2, which is the same as x squared plus 3x plus 2. Let's look at our last example where we are going to see a reminder and how we're supposed to write it. So here we write our x minus 1. Realize that we are missing the power 2 term. So here we have to try to put it in there as a 0, so plus 0, x squared minus 6 plus 12. So we want to eliminate this. So it's missing 4 and the squared. So we multiply, and we get exactly the same as that. And then we multiply this, and we get negative 4x squared. We're going to subtract, okay, 0, we subtract this. Here will turn into positive because of this negative and negative. So we will get positive 4x squared. We drop down our negative 6x and plus 12, we drop it down to. We want to eliminate this. We compare with this one. It's missing 4 and x, so we put it here. We multiply and we get 4x squared, and we multiply this to move on, so we get negative 4x. Going to subtract. Here will be 0, here and here will be positive, so in 10 we will get negative 2x. We drop down our 12, so plus 12. We want to eliminate this. We compare it with that. We are missing the minus 2, so we are going to put that in there. So minus 2. We multiply and we get minus 2x. We multiply negative times negative 2, and that gives us positive 2. Going to subtract, here will give us 0, and here will give us 10. So here realize that we're getting a reminder of positive 10. That tells us that the x minus 1 is not a factor. So when we divide, what we are getting is that getting 4x squared plus 4x minus 2 plus the 10 divided by this again, because it wasn't divisible, so we have to make it. Now let's use synthetic method to see the outcome. Here the opposite of negative 1 is 1, because we need a solution to put it here. We write our coefficient 4. These are the coefficients 4. The quadratic is missing p, so we will put 0, so plus 0, minus 6, and plus 12. The line here, we drop our 4, we multiply to that, we get 4, we put it right here, we add, and that will give us 4. And now we multiply to that, that will give us 4, and we put it right here, we add them, and that will give us negative 2. We multiply, we get negative 12, and we add, and we get 10. So the last number that finished the division is not 0, it's 10. So the remainder is 10. That tells us that x minus 1 is not a factor, as I have already said. So when we do this one, it was a cubic, is being reduced by less 1. So here is going to be quadratic and linear. And then that, since we get constant over here, a reminder over here, we have to put it because it wasn't a factor. And that completes. Okay, guys, so we have been looking at all instances, and in our next video, we will look at where the limitation of the synthetic method. The synthetic method is really short, but I have a little limitation, and we'll be looking at it in the next video. And thank you for learning with me. Please, if today is your first time or you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, like, and leave us a comment. See you in the next video. Be blessed. Bye-bye.